Okay, welcome back again to some 0K action. We'll go over to the game itself. There we go. And yeah, it's going to be part of the 1 vs 1 tournament for September. It's going to be between Fealthas and Orfelius, following on from the previous game where Fealthas has won pretty decisively over Orfelius. Pretty action-packed game actually, very back and forth to say the least. And yeah, there you go. Should be an interesting game. So yeah, Orfelius gets to choose the next map, which is going to be Red Comet. And well, what the hell? One of them says it might end quickly, it might not. We'll see what happens. And yeah, of course, as always, this stream is on a bit of a delay in case of this stream sniping, which is pretty unlikely. But there you go. Already mentioned that. Where is the commander for? Actually, yeah, for Orfelius, that's strange. Oh, there he is. Okay, he actually managed to put in a build order before. Indeed, managed to put in a build order before putting down his commander. I didn't think you could actually do that, but yeah, apparently you can. Interesting. So, okay, he's not actually going to be building up that wall though. Oh well. In any case, yeah, Orfelius going for light vehicles, going with a dart, followed by a very quick slasher. Actually, should be interesting to see what he's going to do with that. And Fealthas going for Hovercraft. So yeah, a relatively popular factory, funnily enough, even just for land maps, provided they're flat enough, of course. And they used to be a little bit overpowered, especially for daggers, but I think there's been a few balance patches that have addressed that, so yeah, now basically Hovercraft should not be overpowering on pure land-based maps like they used to be, so they should be relatively balanced as far as I know. And in the case here, Orfelius is going to be going for a slasher, 2 scorchers, and the dart is going to come around the back to yeah, just take a quick sneak peek at what's happening. I don't think I actually saw the Hovercraft platform. Actually, wait a minute, what was the command? I think it was like spec full or something like that, for seeing what the players had seen in terms of vision and all that. I'll have to check that, damn it. Although yeah, thanks to the person who mentioned that in one of the comments of my, one of my YouTube videos. I just wish I could remember what the hell that command was. And apparently there's a hotkey for it as well, which I won't go, I won't go looking for that now as I'm trying to commentate on this, and it's live of course, so there you go. Steam release, yeah, it'll be interesting to see this on Steam, and yeah, there we go, down goes 1 dagger, so slasher, yeah, it's not that bad for, well, it's not really a riot unit, but I mean, 1-on-1 it should do great versus raiders, but yeah, problem is of course is that raiders are usually sent in numbers, so yeah, at the same time though, Fealthas is just sending in this stuff piecemeal really. His daggers, I mean, they are pretty cheap I suppose, 90, well, relatively cheap. 90 metal compared to 130 for the scorchers. Still doesn't want to be wasting them, especially at this early stage of the game. Ouch, his LLT never stood a chance. This one though, on the other hand, probably should stand a chance, especially if these daggers actually come in to help, which they will, yep. Very nicely done actually, and loses 1 dagger for the cost of the entire raiding force of Orfelius, so very nicely done. Fealthas, their armies are still relatively even though, and Fealthas does have the very slight economic edge, but really, it's not much though. We'll just have to see what happens between them. Just having a look at their expanding strategies as well. It looks like Orfelius mostly expanding towards the bottom bit part of the map. It's kind of early to tell because it hasn't queued up much, and at the same time Fealthas is expanding more so towards the middle, so yeah, bottom and middle there, and they'll probably be clashing around here or here as well, but you know what I mean. Well, expansions will probably start clashing around around there. We'll see what happens though when it comes to expansions. I think I actually been saying that a few times. We'll see what happens. I mean, obviously we're going to see what happens, especially since this is live. And not even I know the outcome of this, because on replays, kind of annoyingly, it actually says who won the game beforehand, like in the actual page for the replay. But yeah, whatever. And very nice maneuver by Orfelius. Actually, this is something that many people actually forget about, especially with raiders. Is actually healing them up, sending them back to be healed up, and yeah, I mean, it's only 4 Scorches, so it's not, you know, like as if he's healing up a mammoth of a unit, but at the same time though, this is the sort of stuff that gets you more and more of an edge. That and making sure you got damn good radar coverage. Although it looks like both players have got pretty good radar coverage. Fealthas, yeah, pretty much seeing everything from the map. There's a little bit here where units could slip through, but that's probably not too likely though. We'll see if Orfelius is going to exploit this little gap here. His own radar's up, no gaps there, but there's a nice big gap here, so much bigger gap for Fealthas to exploit and try to send in units all sneaky-like. We'll see what happens though. Couple of daggers coming in initially, not really doing too much. One of them, well, I suppose the dart gets taken out, I suppose it's better than nothing. But daggers, no, they're not quite pawning everything. But they're definitely no pushovers either. They're definitely not like darts, for example. See for yourself, indeed. Yeah, the biggest thing with them, of course, is yeah, they do have that high alpha damage. So they do quite a bit of initial damage, but yeah, as you can see, these Scorches, because they do continuous damage, as long as they can stay on the tails of these daggers, they, yeah, well, as you can see, they can just continuously damage them and destroy them over time. While the daggers, on the other hand, they sort of have to go in and out to be as effective as possible. So, good job actually getting Orfelius to chase his daggers a bit, actually, before Orfelius was forced to disengage. Very nicely done indeed. So yeah, that's daggers for you. Great stuff indeed. Planetary Annihilation. Oh yeah, that's actually not a free game though. I might look into it. The reviews for it are a bit mixed though, and to be honest, it sounds so much like 0K, it's ridiculous. It's just the only real difference, of course, with it being the fact that it takes place on multiple planets, but each of those planets is pretty freaking small. They're yeah, well, given how big this map is, for example, a planet in Planetary Annihilation will probably be not much bigger than that, at least from what I've seen from the trailer. I haven't actually seen too much actual gameplay, I'll admit, but just the scale given on the trailer, unless if it's way off from what I thought it'd be, is yeah, indicating that the actual planets, which is really just each planet being a separate map, but anyway. Yeah, they're not really that much bigger than, say, a map in 0K, so yeah. Rather bizarre, actually, the way it looks, because the units look so ridiculously big marching along the planet's surface, but in any case, that's a discussion for another time. What's happening right now is a bit of an attempt to drive by from Orfelius, and he actually did manage to take out a couple of things. He lost quite a few Scorches in the process, though. Didn't really take too much out in terms of economy. Only one single mechs, and at the same time we do have him trying to raid out, not raid out, but rather attack with his slashers, not working out too well. The Stinger is just too damn resilient against their missiles, and they don't outrange the Stinger either. Just have a look at what the raiders are doing, not too much either. So just skirmishing with the daggers basically and dying horribly, not even being able to take out another mix. Not exactly a very worthwhile raid at all, barely destroying any of the economy of Fealthas. Orfelius, he does actually have a pretty decent army advantage though, but yeah, his little slasher push is not really working, although he is attacking a very strong point as well. I mean, trying to attack a Stinger with slashers is not going to work out too well unless he's, you know, basically spamming them, in which case he might as well just spam something else. That might be a bit more effective. Might actually be time to break out a bit of artillery. I mean, he doesn't have to go crazy with it, obviously, but I mean, he could either do that, or he can just attack the defences in enfilade, or he can just go around, which is basically what he's doing with these Scorches. Unfortunately, they are running into a bit of trouble, and these Lotuses, they do have a they do leave a bit of a gap, so it could be exploited by the Scorches. And unfortunately, yeah, there are other Lotuses ready to defend. So yeah, pretty good defenses being set up by Fealthas, forcing Orfelius back. Orfelius at the same time not really having too much in terms of his own defenses. In fact, Fealthas has crap loads of defenses, and we saw him doing this in the previous game as well, actually, where he just did this gradual, very gradual but very insidious, insidious for Orfelius anyway, sort of slow defenses push, where basically the builds He slowly builds defences towards his opponent's front line. Mostly defenders and the occasional stinger as well to act as a bit of a local strong point there. Very nicely done. So yeah, I suppose Orfelius' defences, while not anywhere near as extravagant, seem to be holding for the time being, at least along this little line here. And again, we are going to be seeing gaps in his defences. Not going to be able to do anything about here until he builds up more defences, or maybe until he sends in mobile units, which is what his Ravagers are going to be doing right now. So let's say, okay, yep, we might actually see him attacking these defences in enfilade. We'll see what happens though. I'm not 100% sure if that's the best idea, but what the hell, this might actually work out quite well. He's got a whole bunch of Ravagers, probably could have done with a couple of Levelers, and not really sure why I didn't keep these guys in a bit of a line, but anyway, we'll see how this works out. The mace is, well, 2 maces now actually going to be pinching these guys in. Doesn't want to get too close though, but this mace, as you can see, is still near full health, and wow, these Ravagers are just getting massacred. God damn, being forced to retreat. Massacred by mace spam, of all things. Alright, let's just have a look at their speeds, actually. So, 3 and 2.1, so definitely can go faster. What about range? 320 to 355, so there you go. So maces sort of can act as skirmishers versus the Ravagers, but not really. I suppose the big advantage they get, of course, is the slight increase in range, and the fact that their weapons, you know, hit instantly, while the Ravagers are just missing shot after shot, although they seem to be doing alright in point-blank range, at the very least, but yeah. Wow. Okay then, looks like Fealthas might actually take this 2-0. We'll see what happens, actually. So we'll listen to the commentary. Oh, I didn't even think of that, actually. Yes. Yeah, I didn't think about that either. Yeah, and of course Shadow Fury's doing a stream as well, but yeah, that's the thing though, you don't really want stream sniping either. I wonder, should I even have the delay then myself? Maybe that could help differentiate myself and Shadow Fury. You know, one commentates, analyzes, whatever, with a delay and the other doesn't. Stream quality is low. Well, that's interesting, given that mine is in 720p. Huh. Oh, interesting. Well, yeah, there's something to consider, actually. Yeah, I didn't really think of it that way. I wonder if it's actually a requirement to do these sorts of streams with a delay. I mean, I just noticed that Shadow Fury was doing that, and I'm just doing the same thing as well, because I don't really live stream this sort of stuff very often, so yeah. Well, what the hell, I think I might actually ask about that. I'm not really sure. Actually, I might be able to change that. I think if I just stop and restart the stream, I should just be able to, yeah, just do that and restart it without a delay. I'll just ask him about that right now, actually. Without a delay. Where is it? Indeed. Well, what the hell, actually? Let's see what the response is going to be. Twitch has inherent delay. Oh yeah, it does actually, but it's not that big of a delay. I mean, mine is 30 seconds. Shadow Fury's is apparently 2 minutes. Yeah. Connection to Twitch is too slow. Oh well, what the hell? In any case, that's that. Orfelius just wastes way too many of his forces. And yeah, Fealthas manages beat the snot out of him, those maces doing loads of damage, but there we go. Questions are being raised about streaming though, which hopefully I'll answer at a later time, but yeah, until next time, this has been Damien signing off for this particular video. I'm going to be doing more of the tournaments.